Ahoy mateys, GeauxBurns, doing another Discuss video, as always, on Wednesday. Today we are discussing the Sea of Thieves Beta, which just wrapped up earlier this morning, I believe. And I had a swashbuckling good time over the past few days, along with some friends, Azulin, fellow content creator, streamer, and some other friends like Liam, Survival, and more. I did a little bit of soloing. I had fun doing both, but the game is really designed to be played with friends or fellow crewmates or randoms. And the game is officially coming March 20th to Windows 10 and Xbox One crossplay. So you'll be able to play with friends via both platforms, whether it's on PC through Windows 10 or on the Xbox One. Prime example, I was playing on the Xbox One X. Azulin, Survival, as well as Liam, they were all playing on PC, and it worked just fine. And the price tag for Sea of Thieves is $60 US. And what we got from the beta was basically just a small taste. In fact, in the Q&A, this is what was asked. What content will be available for the closed beta, which I'll go over as well. The answer was rare crafted experience for the closed beta players that has been designed to give everyone a taste of the pirate life that they can expect in the full version of the game at release. Rare won't be testing the full game during the closed beta phase. They want to keep a good selection of things up their sleeves for players to discover at launch, which means that, from what I can gather, from what others have said, that this was just a fraction of what's to come on March 20th when Sea of Thieves officially launches. By the way, if you would like to see me continue to Let's Play and even live stream Sea of Thieves in March whenever it launches and going forward in 2018, feel free and let me know below in the comment section. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing all the other stuff I do on the channel. I'm still going to cover Grand Theft Auto Online as well as any Red Dead Redemption 2 news. That's still going to continue. This is just one more thing I really would like to do on the channel for all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, and fans. So what did the closed beta entail? Well, you had the option for the voyage to pick between 3 different ship sizes and crews. You had the large one, the galleon, which was 4 players. And then you had a smaller ship, which you could have between 2 to 3 players. However, you could also go it alone and pick the sloop, the smallest of the ships. It's the fastest ship, but at the same time, this game is meant to be played with friends and crewmates. But Rare understands that, some people just want to lone wolf it, they want to go solo, or they want to goof off, and they want to, go wreck other crews and ships. That's fun too. So I like the fact that there's options when it comes to how you can play, whether it's all by your lonesome with a sloop or with a small crew or with a large crew. The voyages and quests, maps that can be purchased that lead to chests, and you sell the chests, obviously, to earn gold in order to buy things like clothing, items like the blunderbuss, basically a shotgun, a gold bucket, a better shovel than what you are, well, at least a better looking shovel aesthetically than the shovel you get at the beginning of the game. So the question was whether or not we thought it was actually a better shovel or not. It looks nice, but whether or not it actually digs faster remains to be seen. Various musical instruments as well as compasses, lanterns, etc. And basically, Sea of Thieves has 2 versions to her. You can do PvE, which means you have skeletons and sharks to deal with. But it's also PvP, which means that while you're out there sailing the high seas, looking for treasure, whether it's buried or laying on islands or in shipwrecks, there's the risk of being attacked by other players, which are also pirates. Chests, that's right, several different types of chests, like buried, as I mentioned, which you find with these maps through clues or through map locations, depending on the type of map you have. Chests on sunken ships, sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not there. And of course, there's different varieties of chests, like the normal chest, captain's chest, castaway chest, I believe. A grog chest, which when you carry it, it makes you drunk and you hear music and stuff, and it's very difficult to walk in a straight line or swim in a straight line when you're carrying the grog chest, as well as the chest of sorrows, which is a very depressed chest. It cries all the time, and if you don't constantly scoop water out of the bottom of your ship and dump it overboard, the chest of sorrow could actually over time, the longer you keep it on your ship, it could sink your ship if you're not too careful with the Chest of Sorrow. And there's other chests as well, and I'm sure there'll be more that come with the game in March. And weapons you start off with, the sword, my personal favorite. I love the sword. I like the melee action. You get a musket pistol along with a musket sniper rifle. Eventually you can purchase the blunderbuss, the shotgun. And there's also gunpowder barrels that you can use as kind of like explosives. And that's kind of cool. So you can like sneak it aboard an enemy ship and you can set it off and it'll cause some major damage, maybe even sink ships. And then the various equipment, I mentioned some of it already, like you have a compass, a scope, a bucket for scooping up water and tossing it over the ship. You can also use it to throw up in if you get really drunk off the grog. And then you can store the bucket and you can use the throw up to blind people. Yeah. One of the many interesting things regarding Sea of Thieves, also shovels, planks, the wooden planks you collect along with the cannonballs and bananas. Bananas are for heals, to heal you up whenever you get attacked by skeletons or sharks or other players. The wooden planks are for repairing your ship whenever it gets damaged. Lanterns are really good at night, and a few other items as well. Now, when you die, it's really cool what happens when you die. When you die, you go to the Ferry of the Damned, and after about a minute or so, the door opens and you're able to respawn back on your ship. Unless you lost your ship, then you have to go to a mermaid or a merman, and then you can get your ship back. And whenever you get too far away from your ship, whether you jumped off the ship by accident, as I've done a few times, or you get stranded by your crewmates intentionally or unintentionally, or you just you go to the other side of an island, a pretty big island, and you're far enough away from your ship, a mermaid will appear and you're able to respawn on your ship. So I do like that feature. So that's pretty cool. And of course, you have the ability to damage, repair ships, and that's what you do. You go around, and if you hit something, it causes damage. If cannonballs hit your ship, it causes damage, and you have to get down there and you got to repair the holes with the planks. You have to, get the water out of the ship, or it's going to sink to the bottom of Davy Jones's locker. And you can also sink your ship by going to the edge of the map, which is really creepy because the water turns red like blood, and you have really scary music, and the ship goes down. That was pretty cool to do. And a lot of other miscellaneous stuff that we discovered during the beta, like the ability to communicate without a mic, because not everybody's going to have a microphone in this game, especially randoms. It's encouraged to communicate with your crew, so I would recommend everybody have a microphone or a headset. But if you don't have a mic, there are different ways to communicate, like different gestures you can say, speech bubbles like ahoy, thanks, sorry, no, rolls on deck laughing, a few others as well. There's also cool emotes that you can do of your pirate, like you can make them wave, clap, sit down. You can have the pirate dance, a few others too, play music, and get drunk off the grog, or a few other activities you can do while you're aboard your ship. And you have some voting skills, because in pirate times you had the ability to vote on important matters. They actually did have a form of democracy on some pirate ships back in the day. The three things you get to vote on is putting players in the brig, scuttling the ship, as well as starting the new voyages. Now, voyages are what leads you to maps, to islands, to treasure, to different chapters. And once you complete all the chapters in a voyage, the voyage is complete. And you can start a new voyage, or you can go ahead and go to an outpost in order to sell all the chests you have for gold. And I recommend once you have enough chests on board, you get to an outpost and you sell them before someone comes along and either A, steals your chests or sinks your ship, and then you lose your chests for all time, and all that hard work was for nothing. Yeah, I would suggest you make regular trips to the outpost in order to sell the booty that you have claimed. And a few other things that you can do is like steer, navigate the ship, raise, lower, move the sails around in order to have the sails working with the wind so your ship goes faster. Raise, lower the anchor. You can go all the way up to the crow's nest for a better lookout. Plus, it's an awesome view up there. Man the cannons. Load the cannons. You can even shoot out of the cannon yourself if you want to get to the island, or you want to try and board another ship via cannon. You can do that too. It's kind of interesting to do that. Like I mentioned, you can repair the ship, remove water with a bucket, collect and store the items, like I mentioned, bananas, planks, cannonballs, along with barrels of gunpowder. By the way, I'd recommend putting the gunpowder barrel, if you just have to have one aboard your ship, I would put it up in the crow's nest, so if someone does hit it, it causes the least amount of damage to your ship, because you don't want that thing down in the bottom of your hull, because it could, be a very, very bad time for you and your merry crew. Now we're going to talk about some things that I really want to see in the official launch of Sea of Thieves, and maybe even in future DLCs as well, depending on what Rare's plan is. But before we do that, we're going to go over this IGN article linked below in the description section. Sea of Thieves data mine reveals probable features in the full game. So let's see, this Reddit user via VG247 has been mining the soggy depths of the beta to find out what secrets lie in store for the full release. And there are potential spoilers in this article. I think most of you are probably okay with that. You want to know what's going to be in this game besides what was in the beta. I think that most people don't mind this. Like when it comes to a plot of a movie or a TV show, they don't like being spoiled. But for putting down $60 and investing a lot of time into a game, you want to know some other things that you can expect that is hopefully coming with the game when it launches March 20th. So let's go over that really quick. There's going to be a host of NPCs, treasure maps, landmarks, more weapons, and the usual bells and whistles you expect to find. There are some notable features that look to improve the gameplay and overall experience. In particular, the Kraken with ship warping tentacles. That's going to be in the data mine. That's going to be in the game. I mean, it's in the artwork. You see the ship, and you see the tentacles like wrapped around it, so it's pretty obvious that we're going to have a Kraken. You can't have a pirate game without a Kraken. And some other cool stuff. There's going to be apparently 4 separate maps listed, so I don't know how that's going to do. If it's going to be like you have the ability to go to like one map and maybe all the maps connect together, or is this going to be eventually they do like expansion packs and eventually add a new location, a new map down the road? I don't know how that's going to work out, but still, I like the fact that Rare does have other maps they have planned for the game besides the one that we saw in the beta. Ship customization, that's something I definitely want in the game. It's something you're going to be able to mess around with, swapping out the livery, mast, the wheel, and more, as well as the figureheads and the cargo of the ship. A few more instruments have been listed in addition to the betas. A couple more songs, I guess. Players can potentially look forward to having a strum on the banjo, a ukulele, the fiddle, as well as playing drums and even a voice box. So there's a few things that's coming that we know of from the data mine. And hopefully there's even more stuff that will be available. Launch of Sea of Thieves coming March 20th and down the road. Now, a lot of this stuff is probably obvious that you would expect to come in the game, but I do have a wish list I want to go over with you guys, and some of it has kind of sort of been mentioned in that IGN article. Now here's something I really would like, and a lot of this is from my own observation, playing the game over the past few days along with Aswin's and Liam Survival's thoughts about the game as well. So, credit to them, because a lot of this was ideas that, we're like just randomly, during her live stream, like, oh, I'd like to have this, or I'd like to have this or that added to the game eventually. Now, one of the big things that I really wish that we would have is more abilities to make coins besides treasure chests. I like, getting the treasure chests, but I want more ways to make the money in the game. Like, for example, when you kill skeletons or sharks or perhaps even enemy NPCs. Or sell unwanted items. We couldn't sell anything in the game besides the chest, but clothing items or like weapons or instruments that you no longer use or musical devices. Instead of like having them stock up in our inventory, I'd rather just take them to an outpost and sell them. Even if it's just a little bit of gold we get back, I would very much like to have multiple options to sell and make gold. I mean, at the very least, off the skeletons, maybe 1 gold coin per skeleton you kill, or a coin per shark you kill, or any other enemy NPC that they may add to the game. So next is, of course, obvious. We went over this in the IGN article, ship varieties along with customization, and that's pretty apparent. Colors, design, flags, the hull, even maybe some armaments, maybe some different types of, besides the regular cannonballs, maybe like a ball and chain, or maybe some spike balls. It'd be kind of cool if we had, different weaponry that we could put aboard our ships. Maybe even tougher hulls. Maybe it makes the ship go slower, but it makes it stronger. I would just like to have a variety of customization when it comes to the ship itself, along with a pirate flag design, so we could design our own pirate flag. That would be awesome. Character customization. Now, during the beta, We just went with a character that we were given in the beta, for better or worse. But I get the feeling that when the game launches March 20th, that we'll be able to customize our pirate. And I'm sure a lot of this will be... I mean, it was pretty apparent when you saw the different, like, other players and their pirates, that there were some different designs. Like, there was some petite pirates, there were some big pirates, and, you know, male, female, different hairstyles, maybe even some scars, various tattoo options. So hopefully we'll have a lot of customization ability when it comes to our... you know, Sea of Thieves pirate when the game launches, instead of, you know, us just being given a random character design. Next, of course, is I would very much like more PvE in the game. Like I said, NPC pirates that we have to go up against. Maybe even a Royal Navy of sorts that's out there trying to stop the pirates. That'd be kind of cool to deal with. I want to see other NPC ships, you know, selling the high seas, very similar to what you would see in Sid Meier's Pirates or Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And you have the ability to attack these ships, board them, you know, take out their crew, grab whatever loot happens to be aboard their ships, whether it's more cannonballs or planks or bananas, or even like a treasure chest. Maybe there's like a treasure chest aboard each of these ships, and depending on the ship, the more valuable the treasure chest. But it's more difficult to take out, you know, the bigger ships, obviously. Because so you would have like merchant ships, trade ships, even warships you'd have to go up against. Sea monsters. It's already mentioned that there's going to be sea monsters like the Kraken. And I doubt that's the only thing we'll have to encounter out there in the seas is the Kraken. Maybe even a Moby Dick. You know, a big giant white sperm whale. Maybe that'll be out there too, you know, to go up against. And of course, maybe even some other mythical creatures. You know, that'd be kind of neat. And I would like to see some legendary pirate ships, similar to Black Flag and Sid Meier's Pirates, as I mentioned. You know, two awesome pirate-themed games with great references to go by. Because, you know, there's a laundry list of legendary pirates and their ships from back in the days. And I would just like them to be, like, randomly spawn on the map. And you'd have to get into a firefight with them. And you get rewards. I don't know what you get. Maybe gold, maybe some unlockables. Either way, it would just be really cool if we had additional like PvE activities to do in the game, besides, you know, just fighting skeletons and sharks. Next, of course, is the obvious. We need more items, more weapons, more clothing, along with dye options for the clothing, so that you could like have like, you know, blue, red, yellow, green, pink, whatever your heart desires, along with various upgrades and more in that capacity. The ability to own and store multiple ships, so you can have, you know, I would like to see this, like you start off with one ship, but you can either like keep your base model ship, you can upgrade it, or you can even buy a better ship. Because, you know, during the times of sailing ships, there was multiple classes, and I'm going to go over a few of them, like man of wars, frigates, galleons, brigs, flutes, schooners, cutters, clippers, ships of the line, sloops. Let's see, even like a long ship would be kind of cool, kind of like one of them old Viking ships, where, you know, it has a sail, but it also can work on the power of rowing, so you and your crewmates could also row the ship to make it go faster. So I would like different, you know, types of sailing ships to be in Sea of Thieves. I don't want any steam powered ships. I don't want any like, you know, ridiculous ships that are post-pirate era, but, you know, a variety of different sizes and abilities when it comes to ships would definitely be awesome. And the ability to have a few in your quote-unquote fleet, but you would have to just pick out, okay, which ship do I want today? I mean, for this mission, I need a fast ship. For this mission, I need a big ship, but with a lot of guns on it. And I want the ability to name our ships, okay? I would love to have that ability to name our vessels. That would be so freaking cool. Make stores and outposts non-PvP. This is something we discussed during Azralin's live stream yesterday, and I understand that this is a pirate game, and it's perfectly acceptable to attack other ships and loot and plunder, because we're pirates. But I do think that the outposts should be non-PvP, like the stores, for example, because you went through all this hard work, and you've gone to these islands, you've been looking for clues, you've been dealing with the skeletons, the sharks, or whatever else the game's going to throw at us in March 20th. March, not May. So once you get to the outpost, it should be like a neutral territory. And there were islands like that during the times of pirates where, you know, they had a parlay. They didn't fight amongst each other when they were on this island or there at Tortuga, I think, for example. They had an agreement, you know, like when we're here, you know, we're just laid back, we're chilling, we're having a good time. And I think it's acceptable to have that when it comes to the outposts. Everything else is fair game. Once you get outside that zone, yeah, you can be attacked. Once you go to any other island or any other part of the map, yeah, you're fair game, and anyone else is fair game as well. But once you get to like an outpost, I think that should be like quote unquote a safe zone, a neutral territory, if you will. Next, I would love to have a variety of mini games, you know, to add a little bit of realism to the game, plus some other stuff for us to do when we're not out looting and pillaging and hunting from treasure chests or being chased by sharks and krakens. Poker, blackjack, liar's dice, maybe even horseshoes, darts. All this you would be able to make money, you know, playing. You know, you'd be able to put up gold and you could earn gold or lose gold. And even maybe some races would be kind of cool, like running around a map, like one of the islands. There's like checkpoints you run around, or even a swimming race, or maybe even a ship race where you take your best, fastest ships and you race. You know, that'd be kind of neat to have some ship racing. Perhaps even some, you know, like mini games like captures, death matches as well, LTSs. So I would like a variety of different types of games that you could play within Sea of Thieves in order to, you know, have more things to do, as well as other ways to rank up and make money in the game. I mean, gold, including naval battles. So you can do like one-on-one, one ship versus another ship. But what if you could actually like form or break alliances with other crews? Because right now, the maximum number of you know, pirates you can have aboard your ship is 4 for galleons. And I wish that number was higher. You know, I wish you could have like 6 or 8. I mean, I realize there has to be a cap somewhere, but I wish we had more than just 4. But it would be really cool if you could like form alliances with other crews, even if it's just temporary, and then you could go into these full out like PvP or PvE naval battles between either like other players' pirate ships, or even like I mentioned, enemy NPC pirate ships, or say a Royal Navy that might exist in the game. That would be kind of cool as well. And let's see, pets. This is just something that would be kind of neat to have aboard your ship. Just something like running around on the deck or sitting in the captain's quarters, like a parrot or cats or dogs or crows, or even a pet skeleton if you want. You know, just one more little thing to have aboard the ship, along with a variety of foods and meds. Besides bananas, you know, which would like give you more health, or you know, buff your strength, make you run faster, swim faster, climb or jump better. It would just be cool to have a variety of that. And I think there was a potion shop. It's empty right now in the beta, but I believe we may end up having something like that in the game when it launches. And a lot of this may end up in the game as well. This is just my wish list of things that I would very much like to see added to Sea of Thieves, either on, you know, launch or, you know, down the road, along with a rowboat for more efficient and safer travel from ship to land or to sunken ships. Because sometimes it's difficult to get your ship, especially the big ones, the galleons, close to a ship, you know, one of the sunken ships, are close to land without risking damaging it. What if instead you could just jump into a small rowboat, maybe you and, say, 2 others, or 1 other, maybe it's a 2-man rowboat, and you can just row to shore, or you can just row to a sunken ship. I mean, I would really like to have, you know, a rowboat added to the game, along with gliders or parachutes, like when jumping off the crow's nest, or like the top of a mountain when you're on top of an island or a tall structure, or if you're fired out of a cannon. It would be really cool if we had the ability to, like when we're in the air, jumping off or something, or being fired out of a cannon, if you could just pull out a glider and just glide a little bit. You know, I'm not asking for a jetpack or something ridiculous like that, but it would be kind of neat if we had like a glider like in Zelda Breath of the Wild, or maybe like an old-timey type parachute, you know, in order to like control, you know, our ascent down, you know, from wherever we came from, whether it's the crow's nest or top of a mountain. I don't know, that's just something I would like to see added somewhere down the road to Sea of Thieves, along with a diving bell for underwater exploration. So at the bottom of the ocean, I would like there to be stuff, like, for example, you know, more items that you could collect and sell, like rare jewels, gems, riches, gold. You know, you go down to the bottom, you go out of the diving bell for a little bit, you swim around, and then you grab the gold, you grab, you know, these gems or whatever the hell's going to be at the bottom. Of course, there's also dangerous creatures down there trying to kill you. Of course, there has to be, right? And, you know, in order to, like, get all the way back up to the top, you have to get back into the diving bell. Also, in order to replenish your breath meter. And that's one thing that Azulin, Liam, Survival, and myself noticed, is that you could stay underwater for a while in the game, but we had no breath meter to indicate how much breath we still had left. So that's the final thing I would like to see added to Sea of Thieves, is a breath meter or breathe meter, you know, so that we know exactly how much oxygen we have left before, you know, we start having our health damaged. Because I think that's what happens. Once you start, you know, like running out of air, it starts affecting how much health you still have left. So it'd be kind of cool, is like, along with the health meter, you also have a breath meter or a breathe meter that extends it. And then once the breathe meter runs out, then your health meter starts running down. So those are all the things that I would like to see added to Sea of Thieves, whether at launch on March 20th or later on in future updates and DLC. But overall, I'm a big fan of Pirates. I love Sid Meier's Pirates back on the, you know, what was it, the original Xbox. Now it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One. Hell yeah. And I loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So I'm very excited about Sea of Thieves. Plus, I'm a fan of Rare. They had so many awesome games that they've made over the years, like Donkey Kong Country, Battletoads, Viva Pinata, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, just to name a few. And I really feel like when this game launches on March 20th, it's going to be something special. It looks special. It feels special. And I'm definitely looking forward to Sea of Thieves. And I hope you are too. So feel free, chime in below in the comment section. Your views, your opinions, your thoughts, and perhaps even your wish list, mateys, regarding Sea of Thieves when it sets sail on March 20th for the Xbox One and Windows 10.